I'm happy to say that I am finally finished another trilogy. Hey everybody, this is David, and today I'm going to be talking about Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, the third installment in the Mad Max franchise, and the last to feature Mel Gibson as the title character. So, let us begin as usual. You know the drill. What were the things in the movie that I liked, didn't like, all that stuff. A little bit about what the plot was about, I guess, and let us begin. So, of course, we start off with Mad Max, who returns with Mel Gibson back in the role. And once again, he is badass. I love Mel Gibson in this role. I think he really was this character and grown into this character quite well. And to me, for this movie, he was one of the saving graces because I'm going to admit right off the bat, this movie was the weakest, in my opinion, in the franchise so far. So, with that being said, I think every scene that he was in was enjoyable. It was great seeing him doing what he does best. But some of the other parts in the movie, even he couldn't save everything entirely. So basically, Max goes to this tribe or this place where this woman, played by Tina Turner, who is playing a character named Auntie Entity, who is the villain of this movie. I'm going to admit she was alright in the movie, but her character really isn't fleshed out well, and she to me, she's just a little bit of a waste, in my opinion. Um, I'll get to that a little bit later. We also are introduced to Jebediah and his son Jebediah Jr. Now, the interesting thing about Jebediah is that he is played by Bruce Spence, who in the last movie was playing a totally different character. And usually I don't mind when an actor comes back for a franchise, and if it's a reboot especially, like I don't mind if they're playing a new character because it's a reboot, so go for it. But this is a sequel, and the thing that confused me at first, I thought he was playing the same character that he played in the last film, but he's actually playing a character that's entirely new. And I'm sorry, but he looks exactly the same that he did in the last film. So he doesn't look much different. So it can be a little bit confusing for audiences that this is an entirely new character. That's just me. But, I mean, I don't mind him as an actor. I just think the way he was used as a new character entirely, which didn't really spell that out really well, in my opinion. Only what, because he has a kid means he's an all new character now. To me, it just maybe I missed something in the movie that hinted at that more. That said he was an all new character, but to me, I got almost confused. I thought he was playing the same character that he was in the last film. Now, it doesn't really matter because he doesn't play a big part in this movie, anyways. So, but if you were someone that watched the first two films and then coming into this one and you see him, you're gonna go, "Hey, is that the guy from the last movie?" No, because there's not even a friendship there that I can say that really helped determine that. So, meanwhile, when Max goes to the city, Auntie forces him to a challenge, and he has to challenge this person called the Master Blaster, who is actually two people. The Master is the small little guy and the brains of the operation, apparently, and the Blaster is the strong big guy who allows Master to ride on him. And we learn that, well, Blaster isn't too bright. That's why he needs a Master. Because Max faces Master Blaster in a duel, kind of like a gladiator, where two go in, one survives. And when Max realizes that Blaster ain't so bright, he refuses to kill the guy, and that's when Auntie sends him into the desert, blindfolded, with no food, no water, nothing, just to let him rot and die in the desert. And yeah, that's where things start to go downhill from there. I'm gonna admit, I really enjoyed I thought the first, not really enjoyed, but I thought the first half hour, 40 minutes maybe, was the more interesting stuff in the movie. And then once they sent him out, this is where things, in my opinion, start to go downhill. Because Max runs into this tribe of kids. These kids save him, find him wandering in the desert, and save him. And this kind of turns out like Hook, I guess, where, when in Hook, where Peter Pan was, training with the Lost Boys and all that. Now, there's no training involved. Like, Max actually teaches them a little bit. But to me, this is where the movie starts to lose me a lot, and where I started not to care anymore what was going on, because it started to get a little silly and boring, and it was very different from the last two movies too. I think this one was more family friendly than the first two films, which were very adult, and it's kind of took away from what the first two films set up. Now, I don't know if they were trying to get a more family-oriented audience by this point. Maybe, they found out kids were watching the last two Mad Max movies, and they said, okay, let's make it more for kids on this one. To me, that kind of cheapens it, and that's how I felt while watching the movie. Like, the violence was maybe toned down quite a bit, and now thinking about it, and yeah, it just lost its steam, I think, in this one, and it kind of disappointed me on that sense. The final fight with Auntie was also a little bit disappointing because she survived at the end, and I wasn't understanding why. I think the ending kind of confused me. Seriously though, I was kind of like already half paying attention by the end of it because I was already getting bored of what was already going on. I didn't care by that point because the kids had taken it away. I think brought the film down a little bit. So I don't know. I maybe I just didn't get it. I didn't get why she, maybe they were setting up for a sequel. I have no idea. I just didn't care by that point. And which is why I'm going to have to give this a 4 out of 10. Yeah, I mean, the beginning was cool, but as soon as it got to the kid part, like 40 minutes down, 40 minutes into the film, I just didn't care by that point anymore, and unfortunately, yeah, I checked out. So guys, that's it. That's my last review for the Mad Max trilogy. I am set for Mad Max Fury Road starring Tom Hardy. I'm hoping this one can bring the franchise back for me. I know a lot of people weren't too impressed with the third Mad Max movie, so I know I'm not alone on that one. I'm wondering what other people's opinion on the third Mad Max film is, Beyond Thunderdome with Tina Turner. If you've seen it, let me know what your opinion is on it, what you thought the hits and the misses were in this film. Maybe you guys like the movie more than me. Me, personally, I thought it was the weakest of the bunch. I really enjoyed the first two films, especially the second one, but the third one was a real big miss. When I think about it, it's kind of like the Terminator trilogy, where the first one was good, the second one was even better, and the third one was the crappiest of the bunch. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys out there liked it. I don't know. Comment below, let me know. And subscribe to my channel. Like this video. And spread the word around about my videos. Maybe you guys like it. And maybe you know other people that would like to hear my opinion as well. Maybe you guys agree with my opinion. So who knows. Anyways, until next time guys, take care.